Welcome to another deep dive with us. We are headed to Kings Mountain, North Carolina for this one.
Oh, yeah.
If you're thinking about a trip, and you love history, or you're, maybe feeling a little lucky, or just want some outdoor adventures,
Right.
Kings Mountain might be the place for you. And we're going to be using a bunch of different sources to uncover some hidden gems for you.
Yeah.
So we've got their official tourism website, some local attractions. We'll even hit up Wikipedia for a little bit of extra context, but
Yeah. Gotta have that Wikipedia deep dive.
always got to have that.
Gotta do it.
But we're really going to try and give you all the info you need to plan a perfect Kings Mountain getaway.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating mix. You have the small town charm, just over 11,000 people nestled right there at the foot of the Carolinas.
Right.
But it boasts these attractions you wouldn't expect in such a, quote unquote quaint location.
Yeah, and I was surprised to learn that Kings Mountain was initially called White Plains.
Oh, wow.
But then, boom, the Revolutionary War, a pivotal battle takes place, and they decide to rename the town after this, monumental event. Talk about a rebranding strategy.
Well, it wasn't just any battle.
Right.
I mean, Thomas Jefferson himself called this the turn of the tide of success in the Revolutionary War.
Wow.
That victory against the British really shifted the momentum in the South.
So obviously we have to talk about the Kings Mountain National Military Park.
Yeah.
It's not just a park, it's a living, breathing history lesson.
Right.
You can hike the trails.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the clash of muskets during the reenactments.
Oh, yes.
They even have a virtual tour on their website.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think what's so captivating is that, it's not just about preserving the past, right? It actively connects visitors to it.
Yeah.
So you can imagine walking the battlefield, feeling the weight of history under Fent, and then looking out at the same landscape that witnessed such a, pivotal moment.
Gives me chills. But, Kings Mountain isn't stuck in the past.
Mhm.
They've got this incredible network of trails called the Kings Mountain Gateway Trail.
Right.
There's something for everyone. The Rail Trail Loop, Plateau Loop,
Mm-hmm.
even a cardio hill.
I chuckled at that.
Right. Sounds like a good way to burn off some pre-casino jitters.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get ready for that.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
we can't ignore the elephant, or rather the giant glittering casino in the room, the Catawba Two Kings Casino.
It's certainly a draw. Fun has a new address is their tagline, and they've got slots, table games, a sportsbook, restaurants, food trucks. Like they're really trying to cover all the bases.
Wow. It's like a mini Vegas just landed in this historic town.
Right.
They even have 24/7 operation and a Lucky North Rewards program.
Oh, yeah.
Could you explain that for people that, aren't high rollers?
Sure. Yeah. It's essentially a loyalty program where you earn points for your play and then you can redeem those points for different perks like free play or food or even hotel stays. It's a common strategy for casinos to kind of incentivize repeat visits.
So it's not just about gambling. It's about creating this whole entertainment experience.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder, how do these modern additions like the casino mesh with the town's historical identity?
Right.
Do they complement each other, or is there a sense of dissonance?
That's a great question, and it's something we should definitely delve into further because while the casino might be the flashiest new kid on the block, Kings Mountain's appeal goes beyond the bright lights and slot machines.
Right.
There's something more there.
Yeah, and Kings Mountain is part of Cleveland County.
Yes, it is.
And when you look at their tourism website, you see this charming picture being painted of the whole area.
Yes.
Bluegrass music, antique shops, craft breweries. They even boast about craft beers that will give your goosebumps.
No, I haven't experienced that personally, but it definitely piques my curiosity.
Maybe we need a field trip
Yeah,
to investigate these goosebump-inducing brews.
we'll have to check that out.
But it sounds like Kings Mountain is more than just the sum of its attractions.
Right.
There's this sense of community, of local pride that shines through.
Absolutely. And the Cleveland County website highlights tours like Sip Shop and Go Go Go.
Love that.
And Locally Crafted, which focus on, local businesses and artisans.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that tourism can be a really powerful tool for supporting small communities and preserving their unique character.
I am all about that, experiencing the real heart of a place, not just the tourist traps.
Right.
Reminds me of something we were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
How does a town with such a strong historical identity
Right.
navigate the influx of modern tourism?
It's a balancing act, for sure. On the one hand, you have the historical significance of the Battle of Kings Mountain, which really shaped the town's identity. And then you have the natural beauty of the area with the Gateway Trail offering this, escape into nature.
Right, and then you throw in the casino which caters to a completely different crowd.
Right.
It makes you wonder, do these different elements clash, or do they somehow blend together to create a richer, more multifaceted experience?
It's a fascinating question. You could argue that the casino, with its, constant activity and 24/7 operation, creates this stark contrast to the quiet reverence of the historical park.
Right.
But perhaps that contrast is what makes Kings Mountain unique.
Yeah, maybe it's about offering a diverse range of experiences.
Right.
Visitors can choose their own adventure,
Exactly.
delve into history, reconnect with nature,
Yep.
or test their luck at the roulette table.
And maybe that diversity attracts a wider range of visitors,
Right.
which ultimately benefits the town as a whole.
Right. It's like a tapestry woven from threads of history, nature, and modern entertainment.
Beautiful analogy.
So, if someone was planning a trip to Kings Mountain, what would you recommend they prioritize?
Mm.
Where should they start to unravel this tapestry?
I'd say start with the history. The Kings Mountain National Military Park is non-negotiable. It's a chance to immerse yourself in a pivotal moment of American history, not just read about it in a textbook.
Walking those battlefields, you can almost hear the echoes of the past.
Exactly. And after you've soaked up the history, balance it out with some outdoor exploration on the Gateway Trail.
Okay.
Breathe in the fresh air, enjoy the scenic views, and maybe conquer that daunting cardio hill.
And for the evening,
Ooh, for the evening.
a local craft brewery sounds like the perfect way to unwind and
Absolutely.
reflect on the day's adventures.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll even discover those mythical, goosebump-inducing beers.
Now you're talking. And if you're feeling lucky, a spin at the roulette wheel or a hand of blackjack at the casino could be a fun way to cap off your Kings Mountain experience.
It sounds like there's something for every taste and interest.
There is.
But I'm curious, what stood out to you the most in our deep dive into Kings Mountain? What's that one nugget of information that has just stuck with you?
I think what's resonated with me is this idea of Kings Mountain as a microcosm of the evolving American landscape.
Okay.
You have this, deep-rooted history intertwined with modern developments and a community striving to preserve its unique character. It makes you think about how places evolve over time and how different forces shape their identity.
That's a profound observation. It's like Kings Mountain is a story still being written, with each new generation adding its own chapter.
And each visitor gets to choose which chapters they want to experience and how they want to contribute to the ongoing narrative of this fascinating town.
It really makes you realize that travel isn't just about seeing new places.
Right?
It's about understanding the stories behind them, the layers of history, culture, and even in this case, a bit of luck and entertainment.
Exactly. And Kings Mountain seems to offer a compelling mix of all those elements. It's not just a destination, it's an experience, a journey through time, and a glimpse into the heart of a community adapting to change.
It's really cool, to see how a place embraces both, the past and the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So for our listeners who are now adding Kings Mountain to their travel bucket list, what's one piece of advice you would give them?
I'd say go with an open mind and a sense of curiosity. Don't just stick to the main attractions.
Right.
Venture off the beaten path, talk to the locals, and, discover those hidden gems that truly capture the spirit of Kings Mountain.
Like those goosebump-inducing craft beers we keep hearing about.
Exactly. You never know what you might find when you embrace the unexpected. And as you explore, think back to that question we've been pondering.
Yeah.
How does a town like Kings Mountain, steeped in history, embrace modern tourism while preserving its unique identity?
It's a question that each visitor will answer in their own way.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Every journey is unique, every perspective valuable.
Right.
Kings Mountain invites you to be a part of its ongoing story, to create your own chapter in its ever-evolving narrative.
Well said. And on that note, we wrap up our deep dive into Kings Mountain tourism.
It's been fun.
We've explored its historical significance, its natural beauty, its modern attractions, and even its potential for giving you goosebumps.
Don't forget the goosebumps.
We hope this has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to discover the magic of Kings Mountain for yourself.
Yeah, go check it out.
Remember, travel is an adventure, a chance to learn to grow and to create lasting memories. So pack your bags, grab your hiking boots, and maybe a lucky charm or two, and head to Kings Mountain. You might just be surprised by what you find.
You never know.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. So for our listeners who are now adding Kings Mountain to their travel bucket list, what's the one piece of advice you would give them? What should they keep in mind as they explore this unique town?
I would say, just like we've been talking about, embrace that contrast. You know, you have
Yeah.
the history, you have the nature, and you have the modern entertainment.
Right.
So don't be afraid to kind of like, you know, jump between those worlds and see how they intersect.
It's kind of a choose your own adventure in a way.
Ye-
Yeah. And one thing we haven't really touched on is the people.
Right.
What are the people of Kings Mountain like?
Well, from what I've gathered, you know, through these different sources, they seem to have a real sense of pride in their town,
Yeah.
a real sense of community. And I think that's something that really shines through, you know, whether you're at the historical park or you're hiking on the trails or you're even at the casino.
I feel like that's one of the things that makes a place truly special.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the people that make it memorable.
And so maybe a piece of advice would be to strike up a conversation,
Oh, absolutely.
with the locals.
Yeah.
Maybe at a craft brewery
Yeah.
or
Or at a, you know, a local restaurant or a shop.
you never know what kind of stories you might uncover.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So Kings Mountain, a town of contrasts, a town of history and entertainment, and most importantly, a town of people who are proud to call it home.
Yeah. Well said. I think that sums it up perfectly.
Well, on that note, we've reached the summit of our Kings Mountain deep dive.
We made it.
Hopefully, we've given you a taste of what this charming town has to offer.
I think so.
From its pivotal role in the American Revolution to its modern-day attractions, there's something for everyone in Kings Mountain.
And who knows, maybe we'll see you there sometime.
Maybe we'll bump into each other on Cardio Hill.
Or at the blackjack table.
Right.
Or maybe we'll be sipping on some goosebump-inducing craft brews.
That's right. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll see you next time.